Welcome back to everyone on Wrestle and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. And of course, it's a big episode of Dynamite today. It's actually a 3-hour one with the first hour of Collision put in ahead of the Wrestle Dream pay-per-view coming up this weekend. So obviously we've got all the build up to that and a lot going on. So we're going to kick things off, and after a rundown, Renee Paquette hosted the famous last words of Chris Statlander and Timeless Tony. The Timeless One in the Galaxy's Greatest Stadium promised victory. They then charged to the ring where they fought, both refusing to take a cheap shot before Wrestle Dream. A great segment. Buoyed by a unique stature, starting out backstage before heading to the ring. The hint of what these two can do together is exciting. This feels like a true match of the year contender. Stat has finally matched Storm's freak so far in the build-up and selling fans why they should get behind her. The Galaxy's Greatest Stadium should have support from the crowd, but the Timeless One is also adored, and the champion may need to play against the audience to generate the best heat. But yeah, very much looking forward to it. As we then moved on to the Hurt Syndicate against the Gates of Agony, Khan and Leona had Lashley and Benjamin's number throughout this fight. When the Hurt Syndicate started to rally, Ricochet speared Benjamin and set up Leona to pin him for the W. This was better looking than pure action. Gates of Agony and Hurt Syndicate were decent together, but not as the same high as they've reached in trios action. This may have been holding back for Wrestle Dream, but the right team won. Gates of Agony earned a massive victory over the Hurt Syndicate again. Even with a likely loss by Wrestle Dream, the Demanders gained major momentum by confronting and overcoming the Hurt Syndicate fearless feud. It would not be surprising to see them capture the World Trios title in the coming months. Yeah, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. Before, earlier in the day, Darby Allin and Mox met in a visiting room where glass separated, and the Death Rider tried to recruit the Daredevil again. Allin explained that he could not trust him after what he did to Danielson. Pac emerged behind Allin and brutalised him, smearing the Devil's blooded face against the glass. Claudio dominated his match with Roderick Strong next up, while the Messiah of the Backbreaker found his way back late. The Swiss Superman caught him in the air and planted him with a European uppercut to win. The face-to-face between Mox and Allin was brilliantly executed. The lighting and camera work echoed the cinematography of a crime film. Allin bathed in red light and bloody while Mox walked out unbothered was excellent. The Daredevil still fighting a losing battle, and he will not win at Wrestle Dream without great personal hardship, even if it's possible at all. The match itself was fairly one-sided, even not a true squash. Swiss Superman did need a win like this, not relying on anyone else. It was not a memorable match, but served its purpose well. Castagnoli looked like a dominant force, which is exactly what he should be. Outside of Mox, no one in the Death Rider should have more in-ring credibility, in my opinion. Next up, we got Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express taking on the Don Callis family. After protecting Omega, Perry alongside Luchasaurus turned the tide and pinned Hexer over a ring rope walk doomsday device. Afterwards, Bucks tried to attack Jurassic Express, but Omega saved Perry from a Meltzer driver and turned the tide to send the Bucks into retreat. 6 talented athletes came to compete and delivered the best match of the night. The heart of this was driven by two stories: Omega's desire to punish Alexander and Perry trying to earn Omega's trust. Both played out effectively, and yeah, Omega Hechicero is definitely an interesting match. Jurassic Express looked great here, setting a strong precedent for Wrestle Dream and going to steal the show with the Bucks. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. As we then moved on to Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue, and after Sky Blue countered multiple attempts at the Hayter raid, she finally quite with the finisher to steal the win. Thekla interrupted the celebration with a pre-tape promo explaining she attacked Hayter on her debut because she was there. She demanded Hayter impress her. Few women can work at the level of Hayter, who made Blue look as good as anyone has this year. This was a physically impactful battle. They elevated Blue while still keeping former champs Mystique. While Thekla is in Mexico for CMLL, a pre-taped promo is good, and it's a solid opportunity for the Toxic Spider to speak herself up. 6 out of 10. As we then moved on to the trios match, which was the Ops defending against LFI. LFI had a strong game plan for the Ops. Powerhouse Horsepower combined with the experience of Joe and Shibata overcame the challengers. Joe put the Jalisco to sleep with a Coquina clutch. Guevara worked with the rest of LFI to attack the Ops until afterwards Hangman evened the odds. The World Trios Championship deserved more respect, especially with a trio like this holding the goats. The Ops should be more consistent rivals and raising threats. This never felt like a match that LFI could win, even though they got time and had a decent hold for the spot. This biggest goal was to sell the danger that Joe poses to the Hangman. The Cowboy noted repeatedly on commentary that he saw no weaknesses in the Submission Machines game. The crowd believed in Joe on the night, chanting, "Joe's going to kill you." Will the St. Louis crowd for Wrestle Dream lean the same way? Is this another babyface world title match for the show where the champion may need to learn more than the heel? Who knows? But yeah, definitely intriguing. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Then then got Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly versus Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta. Mox arrived this match was slipping away from the Death Riders, followed by Pac and Claudio. The Swiss Superman blasted KO with European uppercut, set a Red Death pinfall victory. Afterwards, Darby kept dragging himself towards Mox, even as all of the Death Riders beat him down on his way to the ring. He finally made it there as a conglomeration brawled with the Death Riders to the back. The Daredevil brought out an AEW flag, telling Mox to quit now, but the Death Rider responded by hitting him with a paradigm shift on the flag. Garcia and Yuta may not like each other in this story, but they immediately showed their synergy as a tag team. AEW should lean into the dynamic as the two can come to trust one another. Their credibility is low, needing everyone to help them win, and Claudio needed no one for his victory either. Still, this must just be the team that could rise into the tag team title picture with proper focus over the coming months. The match itself was solid despite the messy finish, aided by an incredible post-match sequence to hype Mox and Allen. The imagery of a nearly broken Daredevil refusing to stay down was definitely great. 6 out of 10. Next up, FTR and Stokely backed up Megan Bayne on her way to the ring, using this chance to talk about Jet Speed's chances at the Wrestle Dream tailgate brawl. Nightingale, Harley and Speedball and Kevin Knight then made their way on the Titantron before sneaking up on the Top Gods and sending them out of the ring. The ref fought Bayne with intense focus, saying that she might just pull off the upset. However, the Elijah Bomb sealed the win for the Megasis. The Top Gods could have worked as a one-off alliance for Collision last week. The AEW see something in this dynamic, so yeah, it's definitely working to elevate Megan. The match on Collision continues to test bounds of intergender wrestling, and hopefully more of that's on the way. Hartley and Bayne sold their match perfectly for what it was, and this was one of the best performances of Harley's career, and it feels like the Wrath might emerge with a win, selling the drama. While this didn't happen, she looked like she belonged throughout, and I think both came off better from this. So yeah, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. We then got Bo Dido and Mark Briscoe versus the Don Callis family. Callis watched on commentary as the tag champs overwhelmed Fletcher, Romero and Archer. While Briscoe and Fletcher brawled to the back, Brody King sealed the win with the all-seeing eye combined with a Bandido knee on Romero. Elklon interrupted the celebration to set up a sneak attack from Ricardo, who stood tall over the World Tag Team champs. While everyone worked hard here, the finish was obvious early. Romero always played a full vibe for the family. The teasers of Briscoe versus Fletcher were the best parts, even if it never really felt like the true main event of the night. Hopefully it's a good sign that Chicken and Protestar had big plans for Wrestle Dream. It's not time for Brody Lee to lose the goal, but it does feel like the odds are stacked against him. The Alpha return with the World Heavyweight Championship of New Japan, while the Rainmaker has the Unified Championship. Either man losing now will be a big moment. Bandido pin the Unified Champion could definitely set him up for the Continental Classic though. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it goes. I'll give it 6 out of 10. Overall, AEW Dynamite gets a 5 out of 10 for me. The build to Wrestle Dream overall has been strong, but yeah, I'd say this show was maybe a bit lacking. There were some great matches such as Statland, Tony and Mox and Allen built to, but I felt like maybe could have done more with the likes of Paige v Joe. So yeah, not a disastrous go-home show, but just felt like maybe they didn't maximise it. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.